Welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. And this actually came from one of my longtime viewers, or our longtime viewers, who suggested that there's so much negativity out there that maybe the thing to do is to do a positive, happy video. And I thought about what he was saying, and I have to agree with him. There are a lot of glitches on eBay. There are a lot of problems online. Amazon's got its share of glitches. You've got the buyers who make crazy requests. You've got the buyers who make super low offers. You've got the buyers who are just upset because it hasn't, you haven't shipped it out 5 minutes after they paid and they haven't received it the next day, et cetera, et cetera. And there are a lot of downsides to selling online, and there's a lot of risk selling online, and we're out purchasing things all the time, holding on to it, selling, hoping to find the right buyer, et cetera, et cetera. And everybody points out the problems. Everybody points out the new eBay change that they've made, or the fact that they haven't made a change, but we're not sure which direction they're going to go, et cetera, et cetera. And that's absolutely true that we all tend to focus on that because that's the difficult aspect of the business. But as he pointed out, and he's absolutely 100% correct, a little shout out to my boy Radio Parts for this idea, we couldn't do any of this without the internet. Imagine we were 25 years ago and you pick up a lot of, however they ended up getting here, the family moved to Rochester from Massachusetts, and you pick up a lot of billheads. Nothing super awesome, just a lot of billheads from Brockton, Massachusetts, let's say, and they're here in Rochester. How am I ever going to sell them? I mean, I can hope that I do a show in Massachusetts and sell them. Otherwise, they're just sitting out in my garage. Maybe I put them all together and find another dealer and sell them to him. Otherwise, they're just there. I don't collect billheads. They're no use to me. I pick them up in a lot and I die with them. And they go out on an estate sale and somebody buys them for a couple of dollars, and the same thing happens over and over and over again. Maybe I specialized in billheads. Maybe I specialized in comic books, et cetera, et cetera. I got to do everything mail order. But how is somebody in Massachusetts going to know that I have that billhead or that I have that comic book? I've got to go and I've got to advertise. I've got to, comic books, I advertise in the old CBG, send me your want list. And I do it that way. Maybe I get myself a list of people that have purchased from me before, and I send them out catalogs, which cost money to print, or I, just do something or other that's all just written out, handwritten out. In fact, in the old days, you'd handwrite it out and you'd send it out, or you'd type it up and you go pay for copies because we didn't have the home printers, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a long, slow go, and you have to hope that the right person sees your item to be able to buy it. And you're talking about a large investment to be able to move anything unless it was local. Now, obviously, if I came up with a lot of Rochester, New York stuff, I could sell that locally even easily enough. I set up on a little storefront, et cetera, et cetera. But why is somebody going to come in wanting a Brockton, Massachusetts billhead? Odds are they're not, and if they do, they're probably not going to want to. So we were limited in the old days. And yeah, eBay has its problems, and eBay has its fees, et cetera, et cetera. But stop and think about how many items you have up for sale. I have 15,000 items right now up for sale on eBay, and probably about the same on Amazon. 30,000 items I have up for sale. Do you have any idea how difficult that would have been to sell in the old days? I guess I could do the highlights and get a mailing list and send out the highlights to the mailing list and hope one of those people, I didn't even email back then, one of those people mailed me back or maybe gave me a call and we were able to work something or other out. And then they went and sent me a check, and then I go mail it out to them that way, and there wasn't really the tracking. I'd have to traipse down to the post office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As opposed to now, I take the item, and the more obscure the better. Probably going to sell because I can reach all around the world. I've got a worldwide storefront. Instead of that person from Brockton, Massachusetts just happening to be in Rochester and just happening to walk into my store and happening to ask about it right when I know where it is wasn't going to happen in the old days. Now I can sell that. You know, maybe a few people, a few of the large dealers were able to make a good living in the old days, you know, Mile High Comics, that sort of thing. They were able to do well enough back in the old days. And somebody over in New York City or Las Vegas that had a lot of tourists coming in, I'm sure they were able to do well enough. I'm sure there were people that flew to New York City on other, you know, on work or on vacation, whatever. Hey, we're going to search out a bookstore. That kind of deal. And New York City had enough tourists and all that. I mean, the Strand is world famous for that. You know, those places were able to make it. But here in Rochester, New York, definitely a limited market. Definitely not a lot of people that would be able to come out and see my stock. Well, now I have a worldwide storefront, all for the small cost of eBay. All for probably less than it would have cost for me to put an ad in the trade journal back in the day. And I can sell instantly and get paid instantly and ship it out instantly. So be thankful we have what we have with eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and any of the other sites, because we never could have done this back in the day. So thank you to all of the sites, and thank you to all the buyers and sellers. It's so much easier now than it would have been. Till next video.
Don't wanna be